a.m. Be sure that you are tuned in for that on Thursday. At the end of this hour, the CEO of the DNC is going to join us, Jess O'Connell, formerly of Emily's List, but now fresh from a very successful women's convention, co-chair of the Women's March and the Women's Convention, our dear friend, Linda Sarsour. Linda, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Relatively speaking, I mean, I'm doing well. The world's all messed up.
Yeah, the world is great. Well, first of all, we haven't talked since the convention. Congratulations on that. It was so meaningful, Linda. We reconvened the panel on confronting white womanhood in studio just about an hour ago.
I know, I was listening, Sophie and Donna, yeah.
Well, thank you. It was cool, and we're going to be doing some more on that. And as I've been saying to people, we go to conventions all the time, Linda, and let's be honest, a lot of conventions are just about folks trading business cards. And
Not ours.
Yeah, look, it was some work and some focus. I've never been to a convention with that many people where folk were that purposeful and focused and committed and carrying on assignments and doing work. Folk did not come there to play.
Nope. And for me, it always depends on who the leadership of any convention or any organization is. And you know us, Mark, very well. We are very purposeful people. We're not out here to play. We know there are people who are counting on us and communities who are counting on us. So we brought those people together to re-inspire them, to give them the tools, the assignments that they need to go back to their communities and fight hella hard. Because right now, we got to fight like we never fought before, at least in our generation.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And I know there'll be follow-up. But the whole thing about confronting white womanhood, that's a convention and a panel unto itself. Y'all could just do that state by state, because that was definitely a packed house. Do you? And I know the message was put out there. Was the message received? How important it is for women in particular to get out and vote in their best interest today, Linda?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that was one of the biggest messages that we had at the convention. We had multiple sessions on voter registration, voter engagement. We had sessions on what's at stake on multiple levels of issues. So if we do well today in particular parts of the country, including in places like Jersey and Virginia, I think women are going to be leading that. We're going to be continuing this work in 2018. That was really the focus of the convention. 2018 is a big year for us in this country. We got to win one branch of government back, and I think if we do that, we could really boost the morale of the folks that are looking at us going down doomsday. We also have an opportunity in 2018 to make history, put in the first black woman governor in the country, put in the first Muslim governor in the country, and under a time when black people are under attack, when Muslims are under attack, when Latinos are under attack, I think we might have an opportunity in 2018.
2018 is a big year. We certainly hope for that. How do you think we're going to do today? I'm obviously not as worried about New Jersey as Virginia, but how do you think we're going to do?
I'm a little optimistic. I think we're going to kind of win by the skin of our teeth, which I think is not the way that you always want to win. You kind of want to win big every time to send a really strong message. I think Democrats in particular need to understand that the way to win is just to be as principled and as progressive as possible. Don't be afraid of progress. I think Northam messed up a little bit towards the end. I don't know if you saw, but he was making some pretty disparaging comments around sanctuary cities and trying to go back to the center. And I think for me, that doesn't work, excuse me, which we saw during the 2016 elections. It's like you got to go big or go home. So I don't know. I'm a little worried about Virginia, but I think that Northam might make it with the skin of his teeth.
The and as my last guest was just saying, it's almost a shame that went down that way, because there aren't any sanctuary cities in Virginia right now, anyhow. So I don't know why.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Unnecessary playing into the opposition, and I mean, there's no reason for us to play into the opposition. We have given them so much power. allowing them to frame and reframe all the issues and conversations that we want to have. And it's time that we, the Democrats, I'm a democratic socialist, but we, the Democrats, need to be very clear that we have to be the ones framing. They have to fall into our frame. They have to respond to us. We should not be responding to them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Linda Sarsour with us, folks, and we encourage everyone to get out and vote today. Today, a very, very important day. I'm not commenting on guns until tomorrow because I don't want to mobilize our friends in the NRA in Virginia. Okay, but having said that, we will say this: very different reaction from the president in about what happened in Texas versus what happened in New York last week. And by the way, also comment on this. Did you see that Alex Jones said that the alleged terrorist here in New York last week on the bike path looks like your sibling? Did you hear that?
Oh, Alex Jones has a lot of videos, Mark, and a lot of them are about me. Alex Jones needs to sit the hell down because ain't nobody care about his angry white man self. He's a hot mess. Yeah.
I mean, I was like, somebody said, he is crazy. What is so? He's just somebody else that's obsessed with you, huh?
Oh, he's so obsessed with me. This brother wakes up dreaming about me every day. Every day.
I believe it.
Alex Jones. Yeah, he's a mess. He has like 12 videos about me where he just literally screams for 30 minutes about me and my life, and I'm just like, bro, it's kind of like, if you just want to call me, my number is pretty public. We just can have a conversation, you and I, because I know you want to talk to me.
Yeah,
he's a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, the New York. I mean, this is the issue here. First of all, I woke up really early this morning, and because today's election, I wanted to do some work, but I was watching a video that I saw on Facebook, a video of the victims of the church attack, and it was the saddest thing. Like, it really hit me on such a deep level, almost as much as Sandy Hook when I was watching the videos of these little 6-year-old kids that were shot at
same
school.
Thing.
And these cute little, little girls, and their mom's pregnant, and she's a mom of 4, and 3 out of her 4 children were also killed. I mean, it's so heinous. I mean, and not to say that what happened in New York wasn't. I mean, it was outrageous. And there was these 5 guys who had come here from Argentina who were doing this reunion. I mean, any killing of any innocent person is, for me, so outrageous. And this president is the one that makes everything and takes everything and creates the double standards, which, by the way, were here a little bit before Donald Trump, but definitely not in the same way. And when it comes to Muslims perpetrating terror attacks, immediately, we waste no time. The minute we know the brother got a beard and he's Muslim, immediately he's a terrorist. No one finds out if he's really a Muslim. Maybe he left Islam 5 years ago. We don't know nothing. All we know is he's a Muslim. And we know, and also not only do we put out there that he's a terrorist, but then we also start, putting out the misinformation. We're so embarrassing in this country. We had top CNN commentators talking about how he's from the Middle East. How is Uzbekistan, which is in Central Asia, how is that in the Middle East? And they're literally, this is not, Fox. This is CNN, which is apparently a little bit more to the center and supposedly more intellectual. And so I'm sitting back being like, so not only do we have double standard in how we explain and talk about terror attacks depending on who commits them, but then we start creating more anti-Arab, anti-Middle East sentiment. We have plenty of that already. We don't need you telling me Uzbekistan is in the Middle East. It was just ridiculous. And then when it comes to guns, the whole don't politicize this or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, why do you need an AR-15? Why do you need an assault weapon? I'm not, and I'm going to be quite honest, I'm actually not anti-gun. I'm not anti-Second Amendment. I understand in some parts of the country you want to have a gun to protect yourself. I've thought about it personally many times, just in the situations I find myself in. I understand people live in parts of the country where you want to go hunt, and that's how you live, or whatever it is. That's cool with me. But I still don't understand why you need an assault weapon. Why does any American in this country need a gun that can kill 28 people at one time? I don't understand why you need that kind of gun. So, banning of assault weapons, that gotta go. That, at least that. And then not everybody should have a gun. This guy had a history of domestic violence. Been arrested, let go from the military. If there's anyone in the world that shouldn't have a gun, it's that brother right there. He should not have had a gun. And the fact that people are defending it is so outrageous to me.
Well, what we're learning now is that the Air Force someone didn't push the button for him to be put in the system to deny him having a gun.
Mhm.
That some bureaucracy didn't happen, or maybe he had a friend do him a favor and say, "Hey, man, I'm not going to push this button."
Yep.
So it's really tragic, and then the loss of life of the children in this
Mhm.
church.
Everybody, grandmas,
Is
grandpas, they had.
unbelievable. Yeah,
It was so outrageous. I was watching those little babies' faces, and my heart just was shattered into pieces.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Linda Sarsour with us. Linda, you've been a Democratic Party activist. You supported Bernie Sanders, and then you supported Hillary Clinton. What's your
Mhm.
reaction to Donna Brazile? What we've heard so far from Donna Brazile's book?
I mean, I think we're going through the same situation when some of the excerpts from Hillary's book came out, when she was like talking about the Women's March and she started talking about Bernie, and then people didn't get the whole context. I think I need to read all of Donna's book to understand kind of where
Mm-hmm.
she was coming from. But
Mm-hmm.
I will say I didn't need Donna Brazile to tell me that the Democratic Party is in shambles. I didn't really need her to tell me that the from the beginning that this was the Democratic Party was definitely that they definitely had Hillary's back. That was pretty obvious to everybody, not just to the Bernie folks. I think it was obvious. I think that I hope that the Democratic Party sees this recent controversy as one of many that they've had, where they just got to start figuring out how to fix it. And the Democratic Party right now is they pushed out key people. The question is, are they going to be able to mobilize millennials? Are they going to be able to mobilize Black people again? Are they going to be able to mobilize Muslims and other voters who they haven't really engaged during any election, really? And that's why Bernie Sanders was able to pick up a lot of votes, because he picked up millennials, he picked up young people of color, he picked up kind of disenfranchised communities, including Muslim communities, just like he did in Michigan, where he, this, he got the biggest political upset in Michigan. The Democratic Party should be asking themselves, how in the hell did Bernie win Michigan when he was 19% down in the polls? It's because he engaged people who were not engaged in the process before. So, I mean, I wasn't really, I don't really have my hands all up to the Democratic Party like that, but I wasn't really shocked by anything that Donna Brazile was putting forth. I can see why people are either, are upset with her because they already know the party's in shambles and they think this new information just puts them more into shambles. And I understand why Bernie people, it's kind of like you scratch their old wounds, right? So they're coming
Mm-hmm.
out now being like, see, told you so. And then you have the Hillary folks who are out there trying to defend their lady. And I'm just like, this is why we're losing. Bernie put Bernie to the side. And you saw this at the convention. Tamika said this, and it was really powerful. And I was so proud of her for going up there and just telling it like it is and people actually receiving it. She said, I don't give a damn about Hillary Clinton. I don't care about Bernie Sanders. And she's like, what are you doing to alleviate suffering around you? Like, what are you
Right.
actually doing in your local communities right now? So she said, if your feminism is about Hillary or Bernie, then it doesn't represent me. And that's where I am right now. If you're still stuck in 2016 and that's all the only conversation you know how to have, then you really ain't in it for me, and you ain't in it for the people who need you most. You're just some privileged intellectual that's sitting around your house complaining about how you don't like Hillary or how you don't like Bernie. And I'm not really having that right now.
Yes, that's a good point. It really is an intellectual conversation. Linda Sarsour with us, folks. Linda, before we go, in your own words, give the marching orders for people to get out and vote today.
Mark, I tell people all the time, in my opinion, I wish I could pass a federal piece of legislation that makes it mandatory for us to vote. People died for our right to vote. Like, literally, people in our country died, were tortured, were beat for our right to vote. And I truly believe in the deepest of my heart that all politics is local. So forget about every 4 years that you wake up and then you don't like the candidate. Focus your vote on a local level. So please go out today and start as low as the school board all the way to the top of the ticket. I promise you your vote matters. And today, of all days, literally people can win by just a few votes. Literally. We're talking about the skin of your teeth. So please vote to protect, LGBTQ people, to protect Muslims and immigrants and people of color. And it's going to be, today is going to be, I feel it's going to be a good day, but we need you to go out to vote. We actually have a potential opportunity in Philadelphia to put in one of the most amazing criminal justice reform activists, Krasner, who's running for DA of Philadelphia. That could be a game changer.
Okay.
So please go out to the polls wherever you are.
Well, give me the name in Philly again, Linda.
Krasner.
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 Okay,
yes.
good. Glad you
He's
mentioned
an unelectable man, so to the left that he actually, believe it or not, is going to win. It's going to be
Wow.
one of the most
It's about
craziest
time.
story, but he actually has a shot today, a big shot. So please go out and vote for Krasner. And Virginia, you got to show up. Virginia needs to show up for us. You literally are our hope for today, even though Northam is not a perfect candidate, and I got a lot of things to say about him, but we cannot let the
right.
Trumpsters win today. We cannot let them win.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. From your lips to God's ears. Linda, thank you, sister. Always good to talk to you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
All right, we'll talk again. Folks, we're going to take a break. The DNC CEO is going to join us momentarily. We'll take a break. We'll come back, get some more of your calls. Poll calls still in effect. Sirius XM Progress 127, Resistance Radio. Get woke and vote. And get ready for impeachment. This is MIP.